Your word is truth, O Lord. Consecrate us in the truth. Alleluia. 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 The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. A man in the crowd said to Jesus, Master, tell my brother to give me a share of our inheritance. My friend, he replied, who appointed me your judge or the arbitrator of your claims? Then he said to them, watch and be on your guard against avarice of any kind. For a man's life is not made secure by what he owns, even when he has more than he needs. Then he told them a parable. There was once a rich man who, having had a good harvest from his land, thought to himself, what am I to do? I have not enough room to store my crops. Then he said, this is what I will do. I will pull down my barns and build bigger ones, and store all my grain and my goods in them. And I will say to my soul, you have plenty of good things laid by for many years to come. Take things easy, eat, drink, have a good time. But God said to him, fool, this very night the demand will be made for your soul. And this hoard of yours, whose will it be then? So it is when a man stores up treasure for himself in place of making himself rich in the sight of God. The Gospel of the Lord. I'm sure you all remember the story of the Titanic, April 1912. Titanic was a symbol and a warning of what for another 100 years had to come. As you remember, that magnificent, unsinkable ship, the Titanic, was a tribute to human skill and power, beautifully done and constructed. And yet it sank. And yet it sank. With the same skills, humanity built also weapons and power came in with the World War I that followed afterwards. And then we know Imperial Russia was brought down with communism following, with more misery in the life of people. Then we have the ascent of Hitler in Germany with Auschwitz, concentration camps, and the rest, World War II, and all the millions and millions of people losing their lives in the battlefields. These are, in short, the history of the last 200 years. The last big issue was the Twin Tower incident, not incident, but great tragic and dramatic issue of the Twin Tower in New York in the beginning of the year 2000. Today we have Jesus, who is confronted by two brothers, and one of them said, tell my brother to, or judge about the inheritance we have. And Jesus did not want to go into the issue of inheritance. He said, there are judges appointed to do that for you, not me. But he took the opportunity to open the eyes, their eyes and our eyes, to watch against greed, against avarice, against hoarding money. And he told them also the story of the man, very lonely story, by himself, having a drink and happy with his life. And then during the night, he was gone. Where was the inheritance? Gone? How many families have been broken in Malta because of inheritance, because of greed, because of power? How important it is to preserve the security of life. This is what Pope Francis has just said. That comes from loving one another. Security of life is a spiritual reality that enfolds us when we are enfolded in love by family and friends, and when we learn to allow ourselves to be embraced by the love of God. Money does not do that. Money does not do that. So this is what the Word of God is telling us, to bring home the truth that whatever we own in this world, whatever we do to build up our treasures and our richness and power, is not going to give us fulfillment in life. Only the Spirit of God, only the love of God and between us that gives us fulfillment in life and gives us the opportunity to live fully. Greed of any kind, and let's face it, we are living in a time of great greed. We are lucky in Europe that we don't have any more wars against each other. But there are other wars going on around us. The war of power, the war of greed and avarice. Greed does not want to know about anybody else. This is the danger of greed and the danger that we are living now, although it looks as we are living in peace. It fouls up friendship and causes family lives to fester. Wanting everything for yourself, this is greed. Wanting everything for yourself. And wanting your own way in everything is the high road to misery in the spirit. Today, Jesus warns us about avarice and greed. Not just a love of money or possessions, but that selfish desire to arrange the world exactly how it suits you and nobody else. This is the greatest danger today, that we are living on the brink of selfishness, where you think that the most important thing in life is what you need, what satisfies you, and no care of anybody else. This is the greatest danger that we are living in life at this moment. So the Word of God is opening our eyes today to the Spirit of God, to the Spirit of love, and live it so that we truly enjoy the life that God has given us. Dear God, some days it is difficult to sort out right from wrong, good from evil. Help me to be open to your words of life and love. Keep me ever aware of your presence and remain willing to be changed, to be malleable and not harden my heart. I ask this in the name of your brother and Savior,